5-0. England have only gone and lost 5-0. The whitewash that has been hanging like a dark shadow over England for the last few weeks finally came true today. England lost the 5th test by the huge margin of 281 runs. They were bowled out for 166 in just over 31 overs. It really was a pitiful, appalling performance. And I suppose the accumulation of the pressure, the aggression that England have been put under for the last few weeks came crashing down on today. They were just swept aside. There was no fight, there was no guts, and there was no technical skill involved in this batting performance. It was just inevitable, it was predictable, and it was appalling. I've been covering England for more than 20 years, and I think this Ashes series represents the worst string of sustained performances I've ever seen from an England team. In each of the 5 tests on the opening day, they got themselves in quite a good position, but they allowed Australia to escape. They weren't able to nail down the coffin at all, and Australia just went on to dominate each of the 5 games. Mitchell Johnson was too fast for England, he was too scary for England, he was too straight for England. They had no answer whatsoever to his aggression. He was the lead figure for Australia, and all the other bowlers followed him behind. Brad Hadding was magnificent for Australia. He bailed them out time and time again. He scored a 50 in every first innings of the series. England had no answer whatsoever to his batting and the bowling of Johnson, I say in particular, and Ryan Harris, with Peter Siddle and Nathan Lyon backing them up. Australia fielded the same 11 for all 5 tests, and for England, well, it's disarray and it's big question marks about the future. Alastair Cook says he wants to continue. He assures us that he's the right man for the job. A lot of people would dispute that. He's had a poor series as captain. His technical nous and know-how and tactics looks really poor. He's often behind the game. He doesn't seem to have the commanding presence that you need as a captain on the field. He's got to learn to be more nasty. He's got to use the hairdryer. He's got to at times really tell some home truths to his players. Andy Flower also wants to continue, and we've heard in the last day or so that the chief executive of the ECB, David Collier, has said that both Cook and Flower will be in charge at least until the 2015 Ashes series. That might surprise some people, but if Cook and Flower stay, well, certainly there's going to be some other changes behind the scenes. You'd have to say that at least half a dozen of this squad will probably never play for England again. You'd say Michael Carberry, Johnny Bairstow looks completely out of his depth at this level. Boyd Rankin had a shocking first test match. Tim Bresman looks a bit of a busted flush. Who else? It's Chris Tremler played the first test, but apart from that, disappeared from the scene. Obviously Jonathan Trott, we don't know about his future, but it's got to be a big doubt whether he plays again. Matt Pryor has been dropped. He might come back in the summer possibly, but got to score some runs for Sussex. Graham Swan's retired, so this really is a sort of a changing of the guard for England. We've got to look to people like Ben Stokes, who's had a good tour. He's been the one shining light, the one beacon of hope really in this tour. Stuart Broad did okay. He slogged a few runs today. Bowled well enough with the ball. Looks a bit apprehensive when it came to batting, but really, we need people like senior players, Ian Bell, Kevin Peterson, Jimmy Anderson. They've all had really poor, disappointing series. They've got to take a long, hard look at themselves, so they've got the appetite to come back and play well again this coming summer against Sri Lanka and India, and the following summer, of course, 2015 against Australia. These kind of guys, as Kevin Peterson want to play, he's got the desire, the demand, the hunger to come back and show that he's a world-class player, because certainly the evidence of the last 12 months suggests he's a fading force as an international batsman. So many questions over this England team. This has been an absolute disaster of a tour. It's been a shambles. Everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong. You can hear now the Australian supporters that they're applauding their players. They're applauding Mitchell Johnson and Michael Clarke, these kind of guys. There's Brad Hadding walking over there, utterly dominant, and they've really given England a lesson in tough, aggressive commanding cricket. So the news, I'm afraid, is only bad for England from Sydney. Lots of questions, lots of big imponderables for the future. But Cook's going to stay, Flower's going to stay. We just hope they find some good cricketers, they find a bit of hunger, a bit of appetite, and a bit of fight, because this tour has been a disaster. My name's John Etheridge, saying cheerio for now from Sydney. Cheers.